Lesson 2 covers adding and subtracting whole numbers and something called perimeter of objects. Let's look first at our example on adding whole numbers. The most important thing to remember when adding whole numbers is that we have to line up the digits. The place values have to line up on top of each other. So in example 1, we have 16 plus 1056, and we're going to write it so that the ones digits, the one place values line up in the tens. We have nothing, of course, over the hundreds and the thousands. The next number they want us to add is 748, and of course it would have to line up with the 8 in the ones place, and the final number is 7,770. Now, it's kind of ridiculous to add these numbers horizontally, so we will, of course, always add them vertically. Let's see what happens now. We say 6 plus 6, the first two numbers in our ones place, is 12, plus 8 is 20, plus 0 is still 20, so we're going to put down a 0 and carry a 2. 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 5 is 8, 5 plus 4 is 9, and 9 plus 7, let's back that up just a second. Start at the top again. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 4 gives us 12. And 12 plus 7 is 19. Carry a 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 7 would be 8. And 8 plus 7 would give us 15. Carry another 1. And now I have 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 7 is 9. The final answer, 9,590. Let's take a look at example 2. At this point, you should probably stop the tape, add the numbers in example 2, and then check your work as soon as you're finished. I'm going to add the ones place first. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 5 gives me 15, and I have to carry my 1 into the tens place. 1 plus 8 is 9, plus 2 would be 11, plus 5 would give me 16. I'll write down the 6 and carry the 1 into the hundreds place. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. 11 plus 5 would be 16. I'll write down a 6 again and carry another 1 into the thousands place. 1 plus 6 would be 7. Plus 4 would give me 11. Plus 5, another 16. My answer, 16,665. Let's take a look now at how we subtract whole numbers. Once again, we have to line up the place values, line up the digits. Always start from the ones place and line up the 4 and the 9. As you can see, they're directly on top of each other. Now, when we want to subtract, we have to have a greater number on top, on the first digit. So I can't say 4 minus 9. 4 doesn't have enough value, so I'm going to have to borrow from the tens place. I'll borrow from my 7 and leave a 6, and when I bring over my 1, which is really representing 10, I add it to the 4 and it becomes 14. 14 minus 9, of course, would be 5. Now, I'm going to the tens place and I'm going to subtract 6 minus 9, but I can't do that. Once again, I have to borrow. I'll borrow from the 6 in the hundreds place. That will leave me a 5. I bring over my 1, and that gives me 16 minus 9, which is going to be 7. Now, the final hundreds place values, I can subtract 5 minus 2, and I will have 3. The answer, 375. Let's try another one. Example 4, 674 minus 149. Once again, I can't say 4 minus 9, so I'll borrow from this 7. It'll become a 6. When I bring over my 1, it becomes 14. 14 minus 9 gives me a 5. And now I can say 6 minus 4. I have enough digits, I have enough value in the 6 to subtract 4, so it leaves me 2. And I have 6 minus 1, which would be 5. The answer, 525. Example 5 gets a little complicated because when we say 40,000 minus 23,582, we're going to have to borrow from 4 different digits all the way over to the 4 that's in the 10,000s place. So let's start there. We'll take 1 from that 4 and leave it at 3. And we would bring over our 1 and make the next one, the next column would have a value of 10. But we're going to have to borrow from that 10, and it will become a 9. When we come over the next column, the hundreds column becomes a 10, but we have to borrow from it, and it becomes a 9. Once again, we're going to do this in the tens place. We bring over we have to borrow from our 10. It becomes a 9, and I bring over the 1. Finally, I have 10 in the ones place, and I can say 10 minus 2 is 8. Then I look at my tens place. It has a 9 minus 8 is 1. My hundreds place, 9 minus 5 is 4. My thousands place, 9 minus 3 is 6. And my 10,000s place, 3 minus 2 is 1. The most important thing when you're adding and subtracting whole numbers, and you're trying to do it without a calculator, which you're probably not used to, is to line up the digits. The place values have to line up exactly. Now let's talk about perimeter, because perimeter is a measurement of the outside of an object. So we say perimeter is an outside measurement. Whatever the object is, if you had a yard, a rectangular yard, or a triangular yard, and you were trying to put a fence around it, the perimeter would be the outside measurement. It would be how many feet or how many yards of fence you needed. This first example 6, has a triangle. One leg of the triangle is 4 inches, another is 3 inches, and the third one is 5 inches. If we want the perimeter, all we have to do is add the 3 sides of the triangle. 4 plus 3 would be 7. 7 plus 5 would give us 12. And we would always remember to write our label down. 12 what? Well, it's 12 inches. This is a measurement, and we always have to write the unit down. Take a look at example number 7. We have one side of our shape here has 3 feet, and then the second side also is 3 feet. But we've got one side here, another side that we just don't know. They didn't give us, and I'm going to call it side A so that we'll know what we're talking about. They didn't give us the length of side A. They told us the fourth side was 2 feet, and the fifth side was 7 feet. And then there's another one that's blank. I'll call it side B. What we have to do is see if we can figure out what the A's and the B's are, what value they have, or what length they have based on the other sides of the shape. And what you have to do is look to the opposite sides. Let's take B first. If we look across, we'll see that B is made up of this 3-foot piece plus this 2-foot piece. It's the same length as both of those put together. So B would basically be 3 plus 2. Or we could give it the value of 5. Let's look at A. Now, if I want to look at the opposite side of A, I'm going to look down and say, I've got a long 7-foot piece here. But A is not the entire 7-foot distance. It's 7 foot minus the little 3-foot piece at the top. So A would actually be 7 minus 3, or it would be equal to 4. Now I have all of the pieces. I can add up my sides. I'll start over here with the side that's B, is the length of 5, plus 3, plus 3, plus 4, and plus 2, and plus 7. When I add all of these together, I say 5 plus 3 would be 8, plus 3 would be 11, plus 4 would be 15, plus 2 is going to be 17, plus 7 gives me a total length of 24 feet. And that would be the perimeter of that object.